Welcome to the Management and Internal Services Committee meeting for Tuesday, May 13th. This meeting is called to order. Let's start with a word of prayer, if you'll join me, please. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the rain that helps us in our community, helps the grass grow and keeps everything green. Help us to be thankful for the inconveniences like puddles and rainstorms. Be with us as we go through this meeting and do the people's work. We have a long agenda. Help us to make these decisions in fairness and wisdom and truth. In your name we pray, amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible.
justice for all.
We have 3 members present for a full quorum. I need approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, please, from March 11th.
Move to accept.
Second.
So moved, thank you. And we have one addition to the agenda, is that correct?
Yes, Madam Chair, for your consideration, we'd like to add item I-2A. This is an amendment to purchase some vehicles for the Sheriff's Office, and also just remind the Chair that we do have an executive session with this meeting today that we'll need to end, if you're so inclined.
Very much. I don't have any presentations or anything for the consent agenda. Let's move directly into debate, please, Mr. Johnson.
First item for your consideration is the Juvenile Court Independent Contractor Agreements. These agreements are the same as they were, I believe, last year. You can see the names there. We have Margaret Adams, Angela Chambers, Kathleen Connor, Jordan Hanson, Christy Johnson, Kelly Kitchens, Mookie Patel, Joseph Pride, and Sheila Waman. Staff recommends entering into these new agreements with the Juvenile Court Independent Contractors at the rates listed. It'll be beginning with the fiscal year July 1, 2025 and ending June 30, 2026.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
So moved. Next.
Next item we have is for the Sheriff's inmate commissary. Again, this is something that's been in place for some time. This is one of the options to renew. So the renewal will again begin with the fiscal year July 1, 2025 and June 30, 2026, and all the previously approved pricing and terms remain the same in this contract. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next.
Second is, the next one is another contract renewal for the Sheriff's Office. This is for Correct Health. This is for the inmate medical services. This is also an extension, the option to renew. Again, it goes with the fiscal year, July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2026. All the pricing and terms of the original agreement remain the same. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next.
Next one is the First Amendment for the lease agreement with the State Properties Commission. This is for the Department of Revenue. As you know, the Department of Revenue has an office down in G1 here on Ronald Reagan Drive. They're asking to amend that lease agreement to extend the lease from, until December 31st. It's actually expired at this time, but to December 31st, 2025. They are looking at ways to potentially downsize their footprint a little bit, and this will give staff an opportunity to work on that with the state. The staff recommends the approval of the lease agreement.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved with a question. Are they looking to downsize in that same building and just take a small
Well, they're
unit,
looking
or-
to downsize in the same building, but the question becomes, they want to use the downstairs only, and we need to make sure that the upstairs is marketable space that we can actually use for something else. So we're working through that process. I think they are looking at other options as well. We do have needs on this campus, but we're working with them first to see if we can accommodate their needs.
Next.
The next item is contract renewal 4. This is with Daphne Company doing business as Express Employment Professionals. This is for our temporary service, temporary employees. This is the 4th and final renewal remaining on this contract. So I believe everything remains the same on the contract, but we will be putting this one out to bid next year. So staff does recommend exercising the right to renew the contract with Express Employment for an additional 12 months. Again, July 1st, 2025 through June 30, 2026.
Move to consent.
Second.
Next.
Next one is the renewal number 3 with MedNow Urgent Care. This is the on-site medical clinic for employees. This has been a very successful program. Again, this is just an extension of the original contract. Goes with the fiscal year July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2026. You have a copy of the original contract there, but staff recommends approval of exercising the right to renew the contract for an additional 12 months.
Is there any way to measure the value in this versus increases in health insurance?
So we do. We actually track the number of visits that we have there. I think the easiest way to probably do that math is if the same, we have to make some assumptions, but if the same employee would have gone to the emergency room for a stuffy nose or for a med refill or something like that, it's extremely more expensive. So we're tracking the number of people that use the clinic. It does get a lot of use. I think we'd probably have to, again, make some assumptions to extrapolate that, what it would be if they were to go somewhere else, but it would be much more expensive.
I think whoever our agent, person that helps you contracts or some type of analysis.
We can. I mean, we may already know. I don't know if, yeah, we can get that number. It's a big number. I mean, it's saving us thousands of dollars, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars.
From an emergency room, yes.
I'm not sure everybody would go to the emergency room instead of this, but they might,
Right, yeah, that,
take the day
emergency
off
room,
or
I
half
agree
a
with
day
you, I
to
just
go to the
think.
doctor.
Even compared with using the healthcare provided to our employees if they were to go to a general practitioner, current rates and current doctor's fees,
Be more expensive.
I can almost guarantee without even seeing it that this is still.
And it's wildly convenient as well. I mean, there are a lot of times where an employee will just walk down the hill and go to the clinic. And the great thing about that is there's typically no wait. So there have been times where, you know, if I wasn't feeling well, I could go down to the clinic and I'd be in and out in 5 minutes with a prescription and either back to work or at home.
Right, that's exactly right. The number of lost hours, it cuts that down tremendously.
The intangibles are just about.
We'd have to figure that into,
We could do a little analysis on it, though, try to give you a number, monetize it.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next.
Next item you have is a proclamation. This is for Safe Boating Week. You've seen this before. U.S. Coast Guard, this is a program that they have through the local Coast Guard Auxiliary. So staff recommends approval of the National Safe Boating Week proclamation. It will be presented at the May 20th meeting, if you're so inclined.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Thank you.
The next item you have is the appointment of the members of the Board of Elections. The terms expire for Larry Wiggins and Wanda Duffy on June 30, 2025. According to the new way of doing this, the new law as it is in place, the staff received the required list of 3 candidates from each political party. You can see the nominees there for both sides. The incumbents are both there. Both of the incumbents do wish to continue to serve. So staff recommends that the Board of Commissioners appoint 1 member for each political party. This term will end June 30, 2029. Obviously, let you have your discussion on that.
How is that the additional member now approved or appointed? Where do they come from? There used to be a neutral member.
Still is. It's appointed by you. It's appointed by the Board of Commissioners.
Okay.
And it's
And that was already been done. So it's offset.
Done last year?
Yes, sir.
I did have discussion, folks, with the parties, and my general feel is that I'm gonna make sure we do this the right way, that working now, and Wanda Duffy are on the board, I would make a motion that we reappoint those 2. I'm assuming that would happen here. Make the recommendation for the full.
Yes, sir. You could actually, the way this is worded and the way it's done, you could do that and put it on consent. If you want the whole board to do it, you could put it on debate and debate it at the meeting, but it does qualify to be a consent motion.
I would make a motion, we reappoint Wanda Duffy.
Well,
Need
that-
for consent.
Second.
So moved. Thank you. Next.
Next time you have is a service agreement with the Columbia County Young Marines. This group approached Columbia County about this service agreement. The total amount is $1,500 coming out of the service allocation funds. For the commissioners listed, staff recommends approval. They have met all the requirements.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next.
Next item is independent contractor agreement number 1. This is with Olive Cordelia for Accountability Court. She's currently an intern working with Accountability Court. Her contract is set to expire May 31st, 2025. Judge Jolly would like to amend that contract to expire with the fiscal year June 30, 2025. The rate, everything stays the same. Staff recommends approval of the amendment of the agreement.
Then did we come back in? If we extend it to June 30th, we come back and write another contract.
I believe this is an intern, so she may not come back immediately. I think she may come back next year.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Ms. Reese, what do you have for us today?
The first item I have for you is the agreement with Columbia County Community Connections. As you know, we do this agreement each year to help provide funding for them as they are grant funded and their grants are reimbursable grants. So several years ago, the board approved to give them some funds to help them until their grants come in. In the past, that amount has been $225,000. They did make a payment. They were trying to pay it down. So they did make a payment to us this past year of $12,000. So this agreement is for a total of $213,000. Also, that will reduce the fee that we charge them from $10,000 a year, which is paid quarterly, to $9,500 a year. So staff recommends approval of this new agreement for the term of July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2026.
Ultimately, what does it cost the county? Or is everything reimbursed?
It's really not costing us anything other than the fact that we fronted them some money,
That initial,
that initial amount.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next.
The next item is contract renewal number 4 with Centos Corporation for Uniform Services. We initially entered into an agreement on April 20th, 2021 for the first period, for the first term, and we had 4 one-year options to renew thereafter. Staff is asking to exercise the county's 4th option to renew. All previously approved pricing and terms of the original agreement shall remain the same. So staff recommends exercising the 4th option to renew with Centos Corporation. This is for uniform services only for an additional 1-year term beginning July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2026.
Consent.
Second.
So moved. Thank you. Next.
The next item is an agreement with Pollock Financial Services for the countywide copier services. This is a new agreement as we have exercised all renewal options with the current agreement. Pollock has agreed to not change any of the pricing that we currently have, and they are going to refresh the county fleet with new Konica Minolta BizHub series models. So they're going to come out and switch out all of our machines at no cost and the same pricing as we've had previously. So staff recommends entering into a new agreement with Pollock Financial Services for countywide copier services for a 2-year term initially beginning July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2027, with 3 one-year options to renew.
The annual cost of this?
I don't know, I'd have to look that up. It's a per copy charge. We don't get actually charged for the machines themselves. So it just depends on the department and their use of it.
You ever bid this out?
We have before. Glenn, you want to?
Annual conference, and I speak for copier reps. Pollock is the only one that will provide us a cost per copy with no lease fee. So nobody else will even touch it. Every time we bid it, we get no response.
And I can tell you personally, their customer service is amazing. When we call them, when we have an issue, they're here.
Move to consent.
I have a second. Thank you. So moved. Do we see ourselves moving toward fewer copiers as things become more and more paperless? Or is this already the minimum 1 per department, 1 per?
And it's not, well, it's not just copiers, it's like our different printers and scanners. It's not just copies.
I see.
And I can answer that as well, that we have fewer printers that we're supporting in the field because we have the Pollock contract. done consolidation there.
We'd like to know just what we spend a year with.
Okay.
All right, number 4.
The fourth item is contract renewal number 1 for our collision repair services. As you know, last year we decided, instead of trying to utilize one company to work on our vehicles when we need repairs done that we're not going to do in-house, we invited several local companies to contract with us, and it has worked out very well when we can just kind of go around to each different one as the need arises, whoever has the time to do it, basically. So these contracts are with Classic Collision, Cushman Paint and Body, Headway Collision Center, and Kendrick Paint and Body Auto and Truck Collision Repair Services. So staff recommends exercising the county's first option to renew. All previously approved pricing and terms shall remain the same, and the term will be from July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2026.
And this will be all fleet services, sheriff and
Yes.
everyone. Second.
So moved, thanks. One more?
The final item I have is the intergovernmental agreement with Lincoln County. They have requested to purchase a vehicle from us that we are no longer using. We have found one. It will be a Ford Explorer. It's a 2009 Ford Explorer. It has approximately not quite 169,000 miles on it. So we would like to enter into agreement with them for the purchase in the amount of $2,500.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Anything else for your department?
That's it for the moment.
For the moment, thank you very much. Mr. Blanchard, what do you have for us today?
I have a
see
few things for you.
15 items on here.
Yes, ma'am. We've got a lot of things that we're working on. The first item I have for your consideration is a renewal with TOPS, which is Total Outdoor Plant Solutions. This is a company that Broadband works with to do what they call outside plant fiber construction. That's essentially any of the work that's done to bore or trench and then put conduit and fiber into the conduit. So this is how they bring new customers on and connect out in the field. This is a one-year renewal, which will expire on June 30th, 2026, and staff recommends approval.
This is, we pay it based on usage.
Yes, ma'am.
Gentlemen,
Move to consent.
Second.
so moved. Next.
Second item I have for you is the renewal of an agreement with Exedian for their equipment and services. That's another broadband utility contract. This is a company that supplies network monitoring software and various pieces of equipment such as network interface devices. So it is an integral part of our broadband solution. This is a renewal, the second of 2 possible one-year renewals, and expires on June 30th, 2026. Staff recommends approval.
It does say not a fixed amount for the agreement, but funds have been budgeted.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
mean,
As
the,
projects
what
come up,
kind?
we'll buy an Exedian NID. We do have an agreement with them to perform monitoring, which is about $23,000 a year, I believe. Harold can correct me if I'm wrong. But as we need equipment, we'll buy it from them.
Right, and yes, with these, I'd like to see what we spend a year.
This one, last fiscal year was $23,000.
Right, got it. Last one we approved.
The last one was $17,700 per year.
Perfect.
Second.
So moved. Number 3.
This is a renewal with Highlighter Cable Services. This is the other firm that we deal with to do outside plant construction. This is our primary, so they're the one that we've called on to do projects with road widening especially. This is a one-year renewal. It's the third of 3 one-year renewals with them. It will expire in June 30th, 2026. We've spent $379,000 with them in the last year, and staff recommends approval.
They are the offset with Total Outdoor Plant.
Correct. We've had times when we've been extremely busy, and Highlighter especially being committed to road projects, so TOPS has been called in to do other work as it's come up.
Together, they're about $400K.
Yes, sir.
We expect that to be a constant? Is it going to increase, decrease? That basically?
It's going to vary from year to year, especially depending on the road projects that we do. That's really the key thing. right now is that as we have all the road widening projects, that really, it's a major contributor to our capital outlay.
Gotcha. Consent.
Second.
So moved.
Next item is a one-year extension of our agreement with Scanning America. That's a company that we work with to perform scanning of our paper documents to turn them to digital. It's in line with the question that you had, Commissioner Malier, about as we go more digital. This is one of the ways that we go more digital through Scanning America. We've actually reached the end of our agreement with them. However, we're doing a one-year extension to help accommodate the projects that we have in play and moving to the new Building A from the old Building A. So it's a one-year renewal, and staff recommends approval. Last year, we only spent $3,000 with them.
Chairman likes that one. Second.
So
More
moved.
this year.
It'll be more this year, yes, sir.
Number 5.
Next item I have for you is renewal of our agreement with A3 Communications for our Genetec video management system support. We've actually got 2 companies that we deal with. A3 is one, and you'll hear about NetPlanner later on. When we did the original RFP for those, it was to make sure that we had some flexibility in a company that we could go to if one couldn't meet our needs. So A3 is the company that we work with the most. They provide camera equipment and licensing for our video management system. This is a one-year renewal through June 30th, 2026. It's the third of 4 possible renewals. They cost us $73,000 in the past year. About $30,000 of that, which is in licensing, and the rest were all new camera purchases and services related to camera replacements and purchases. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Next.
Next item is an approval of our agreement or renewal with Wired Communications. This is for cabling services. We released an RFP last year so that we would have services on hand, or service providers on hand, to provide cabling services for construction and buildings. Wired was one of the companies that we selected. This is a one-year extension through June 30th, 2026. It's the first of 4 possible renewals. We spent $179,000 with them. That was mainly the Justice Center recabling project.
And
Second.
Next.
Next item is, again, one of our cabling service providers, Structured Media Solutions, also known as SMS. Essentially, they provide the same services that Wired does. This is a one-year extension through June 30th, 2026. We've spent $5,900 with them, and staff recommends approval.
Consent.
second.
Thank you. So moved. Next.
This is the one I mentioned earlier. NetPlanner is our secondary vendor that we use for Genetec video management system support. This is a one-year extension through June 30th of 2026. This one only cost $4,000 in the past year, again, because they're our secondary provider. Staff recommends approval.
And
Second.
Next item I have for your consideration is renewal of our agreement with AIOS for cabling services. This is similar to SMS and Wired that I presented before. They provide cabling services for new construction and renovation projects. According to my statistics, we have not used them on retainer, but we haven't used them. No cost in the past year. This is a one-year renewal through June 30th, 2026. Staff recommends approval.
move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Thank you. Next.
All right, this next item I have for you is not a renewal. It's a revision to our existing information security policy. The basis for our information security policy is the National Institute for Standards and Technology. It's a federal agency within the Department of Commerce, and they release voluminous works on network security, physical security, and so for that reason, we've used them as the basis of our policies. They had a major revision last year. They went from version 1.0 to 2.0, which includes a lot more on governance and and collaboration with organizations within the government, particularly in the risk management area. So I updated the policy to accommodate that. We have increased emphasis on collaboration. It introduced risk management concepts as part of cybersecurity. We have enhanced guidance for reporting on our cybersecurity activities. And we also streamlined by removing some of the old NIST 1.0 documentation. Staff recommends approval.
No cost to that one.
No cost.
Move to
Gentlemen?
consent.
Have to be a debate item, since
No,
it's
sir.
policy, it can be
They can be consent.
second.
So moved. Next.
All right, back to our renewals. This is a renewal of an agreement with HARP, HARP Engineering for technology consulting and services. This is a company that we call in when we have specific technology needs or just need some know-how and guidance in various areas. This is a local firm. They've done some very good work with us in the past, and staff is excited to work with them. This is a one-year renewal through June 30th of 2026. We spent $10,000 with them last year. Staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved.
Next item I have is renewal of an agreement with Conference Technologies International, which is also known as CTI. This is the company we contracted with in order to put audiovisual systems in all the courtrooms in the courthouse. Excuse me. So we have a couple of, this is an expensive one simply because our project is included in that. We had a $300,000 project that we implemented in 2023 with them, 2023 into 2024. The annual maintenance for them, and I had 13,300 on here. It's actually gone up to 17,000 per year because we have added some additional spaces within the courthouse. This is a one-year extension through June 30th of 2026, and staff recommends approval.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved.
All right, next item I have is a renewal of the agreement with Unisys for support of the Clarity product. This is a product that IT department is working with building standards, planning services, several other departments to implement within the next couple of months. There will be an annual support payment of $54,000. That'll be divided among the departments that use Clarity licenses. So at that time, we'll divvy that up. So we're essentially an extension through June 30th of 2023. That should say June 30th, 2026. My apologies. So this is the first of 4 possible renewals with them. Staff recommends approval.
Consent.
Second.
Next item I have for you is a Cisco equipment purchase for Justice Center construction. As evidenced by the big pile of blocks next door, we've got a major project going on. We have several aspects of technology that have to be implemented in the new wings when they're completed. We're working with DISYS, who is our approved Cisco vendor. The cost of the equipment we'll need is $324,882.82, which will be funded through Justice Center Construction SPLOST funds. Staff recommends approval.
Pat, what is the ETA on this, on the Justice Center? When are we gonna cut a ribbon?
Obviously, ahead of the west wing, east wing will hopefully be done and get a CO in October. West wing 1 month after that.
Move to consent.
Michael, what in extremely lay terms, I mean, I'm familiar with Cisco, but what exactly are they providing? Are they basically the groundwork and all of the connection points that the terminals and everything will plug into?
Correct. This is for network switches, licensing for the network switches so that I don't have to come back and get additional Cisco licenses or anything like that. So when we purchase Cisco equipment, we buy it with 5-year licenses.
Right.
So we've got the licenses, we have the equipment, you have storage racks for the equipment, you have access points, so all of that kind of gear is part of this.
So for all purposes, it is a one-stop shopping of setting up our network.
Yes, sir.
Second.
So moved. One more?
Final item I have for your consideration is a Cisco equipment lifecycle purchase from DISYS for 2 core network switches. We've got 2 network switches within the county data center that are approaching their end of life, so it's essential to replace them. We worked with DICES Solutions to obtain a quote for this equipment, which is $429,000, which will be funded through SPOST, and staff recommends approval.
Consent.
Second.
So moved. Mr. Blanchard. Let's see, our added item, 1I2A, amendment to the purchase of the sheriff's vehicle.
Yes, this item is an amendment to the purchase of 10 vehicles that was previously approved by the Board of Commissioners. All right, here we go. Back in November of 2024, the board approved the purchase of 2 pursuit vehicles, and then again in March of this year, the board approved the purchase of 8. The 2 in November were totaled from accidents. The 8 in March were due to damage from Hurricane Helene. We have received those first 2 vehicles that were ordered back in November, and upon inspection by the sheriff's office, it was discovered that it was the wrong vehicle that what they needed due to the engine. It was designed more for investigators, and they were looking for vehicles to use for road patrol and pursuit vehicles, so they needed a better engine, the turbo-style engine. So we had staff contacted Allen J., who is the vendor for the purchase of these vehicles, to see what they could do. They did agree that they could take back the 2 that we have already received. They can cancel the order for the other 8 and reorder the 10 that the sheriff actually needs. There will be an additional cost for each of those vehicles due to the different model and the different engine. That is $3,620 per vehicle for a total of $36,200. This is funded from the Risk Management Fund since they are totaled vehicles. Staff recommends approving this amendment to the purchase of those 10 vehicles.
Had we already outfitted the ones that we got in?
No,
Okay.
I think they're just sitting at fleet right now.
Ordering correctly, or?
The specs that we used had, and we do get our specs from the sheriff's office, but they had the different engine on it.
There are multiple police packages that you can choose, and we chose one that didn't have the specific engine that the sheriff's office needed.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Thank you. Have any legal matters? Staff report, please.
The first report I have for you is the year-to-date budget report. This is for the month ended April 30th. We should be operating around 83%. It's hard to believe we just have 2 more months in this fiscal year. But as usual, I have some of the major funds listed for your review, and everyone is operating as they should be at this time.
Lost?
Yes, the next report is the sales tax report. This is for the month of March. We received almost $3.3 million for March, and the collections during the last 12 months have been at an annualized percentage increase of 7%. This amount was 8.82% greater than last month and 6.74% greater than the same month last year.
So I was gone a while. Anything changed?
No, sir.
And the investment reports.
Yes, the investment report for the month of March for your review.
Have any questions?
Not for this body.
And let's move it on to commissioner and public comment. And none, do we have any items for executive? We'll adjourn and return after the executive session. Thank you. We are reconvening after our executive session. Mr. Johnson, will you give us a report, please?
Yes, Madam Chair, we discussed one litigation item in executive session and no further action taken.
Very good. Having no further agenda items for the MIS committee, we will adjourn and return in 3 minutes for our next committee. Thank you.
For the Development and Planning Services Committee for Tuesday, May 13th. Having already dispensed with the invocation and pledge, let the record show we have a full committee quorum. May I have approval of the minutes of the March 11th previous meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved. Is there any adjustment to this agenda whatsoever?
Here for your approval, Mr. Chairman.
Approved. There's no presentation. We have nothing on the consent agenda. We will move straight into the debate agenda and new business. Mr. Schlachter.
Thank you, sir. Our first one is our application for our LRA, our Local Road Assistance Grant. This year, the legislation and the governor have included money for this program again, $2.3 million. Just over that will be our amount allocated. We do have to send in the application prior to June 15. You have a list of the roads and the estimated cost that we are looking to submit. Staff's recommend approval of the application.
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved. Next, sir. Development Services.
All right, the first item I have for your consideration is Building Safety Month proclamation. The International Code Council recognizes May as Building Safety Month to highlight the importance of modern building codes and the essential role of the code professionals in safeguarding our community. And the 2025 theme, Mission Possible Building Safety, starts with you, underscores the shared responsibility in ensuring safe, resilient, and sustained buildings. By presenting the proclamation approval, the Columbia County Building Standards Department seeks to formally acknowledge the importance of building safety and affirm the Columbia County Board of Commissioners' commitment and support to protecting lives and property through effective code enforcement and public awareness. Staff recommends approval of the attached proclamation for the presentation of the Board of Commissioners May 20th, 2025 mission meeting.
Like to read on me.
Apparently. Will we have parades and fire trucks and Building Safety Month? Maybe not.
Absolutely, we'll line up all the inspectors out there and give you a parade.
What is your pleasure?
Move to consent.
Second.
So moved, and we now go straight from Building Safety Month to an alcoholic beverage license.
That's right, back to my norm here. Alcohol beverages license for Gregory M. Parker, Inc., doing business as Parker's number 132. Greg Parker applied for an alcohol beverage license to sell beer and wine for off-premise consumption from 4099 Jimmy Dias Parkway. They have applied and provided all the appropriate information. There's no opposed opposition to the license, and staff recommends approval at the June 3rd Board of Commission meeting.
I am honestly having a hard time keeping up. So this one is scheduled to open when?
I'm not sure the actual opening date of that.
All right. Pleasure.
Move to consent.
Second.
Planning Services.
All right, good morning. Got a couple of easement encroachment agreements for your consideration. The first one is tax parcel, tax map 071G, parcel 416. Allow an easement encroachment of a 12-foot by 14-foot concrete slab along the rear property line. That would be located within the rear 10-foot drainage and utility. Staff has reviewed it. Please be acceptable, so staff is recommending approval of the attached easement encroachment agreement parcel.
Second.
Moved. Next item.
Easement encroachment is for tax map 076, parcel 129. It is for an easement encroachment to allow a retaining wall along the east property line located at 4413 Ferry Landing within an existing drainage and utility easement. The proposed retaining wall would not exceed 6 feet in height and would still be within that easement and the setback. So staff is recommending approval of the easement encroachment agreement for 4413 Ferry's Landing.
Move to consent.
In front of us?
What?
Has this parcel been in front of us before?
Been down in that area, but I don't know if it's this parcel.
Did one very similar a month
Yeah.
ago, but not this one.
Not this one.
Second.
So moved. Steve completes new business, no? Yeah, that completes new business. Any other business before this body? No legal matters? Staff reports then. Planning Services.
Right, for your information only, I have attached the April 2025 Planning Department Workload Measurement Monthly Report. Answer any questions you might have.
No questions.
John,
then. Next report.
All right, also for your information is the March 2025 Plan Review Workload Measurement Monthly Report, and answer any questions you might have about that.
Questions? Thank you very much, sir. Development Services.
All right,
monthly
the first report we have is the Monthly Services monthly report, and attached is a copy of that for your information. No further action is required. Answer any questions you may have. All right, the next one we have is Development Services Financial Report, and a copy of that one is attached for your information. No further actions required.
That satisfactory to everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, let's go back to the alcohol permit.
The last one we have is the temporary event alcohol permits, and a copy of that report is attached for your information. And you can see there are quite a number that was approved this past month. No further action is needed.
Are we, quite a list, are we seeing an increase in applications?
Each year, we are seeing about an increase of about 10% of the overall, so grows each year.
Usually around masters, we see a lot as well.
That would explain it. Thank you. Anything from the committee? Thank you, sir. We'll take all that for information. Any commissioner public comments? None. There is no executive session, I do not believe, and that leads us to adjournment. Stand adjourned.